In the 1830s, the United States began moving large groups of Native Americans off their ancestral lands in order to make more room for the white settlers. This was allowed because of the law that was passed by Andrew Jackson on May 28th. They moved them to lands farther west and eventually pushed them onto reservations that were worse than the lands they were taken off of. This was a sad time in history for the Native Americans because they were disrespected and seen as not even human. Some Native Americans moved willingly, the others, namely in the South, refused to move and trade their lands. One of the occasions of this was known as the Wounded Knee Massacre. One day, the Lakota tribe in South Dakota were doing a ritual ghost dance that they have just been taught. During this ritual, they would first purify themselves, and then vow to never use alcohol or violence. Then they all would go in a large circle, chanting to their ancestors. They were told by their messiah, Ravoka, that by doing so, the white man would be gone and they will soon rule their own land again. Unfortunately, the news reached the white men, and Lakota troops within the U.S. Army were ordered to take their leader in order to quiet them down. The troops took the leader, Sitting Bull, which enraged the tribe, and they started to riot and a shot was fired. The leader was killed. His followers left to go to the Cheyenne River Reservation, led by a chief named Bigfoot, who used to lead the ghost dance. They soon met up with an American chief and his troops, who offered to help them and led them to a little creek for the night named Wounded Knee. There were 120 men and 230 women and children. The next morning, troop soldiers aimed their weapons at the creek. The troops soon told all the men to come out for a talk. Then the rest went from teepee to teepee, removing knives and any weapons. Worried with what might happen next, the medicine man danced to ask the spirits to get rid of the soldiers. As he was doing that, a soldier was in the middle of trying to disarm a deaf man, but confusion struck in the altercation and a shot was fired, causing a domino effect of all the troops to freak out and begin to fire. They killed a couple hundred men, women, and children, whose dead bodies were later shoved down a dug-up pit. This was the Wounded Knee Massacre.